can't remember where the hell my camp was. Damn it. I'm starving here. I don't even know where the hell I am. Come on, daylight. Some logs here. Sweet. Daylight. I can put it this way. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was going to die in the cold of the darkness. I thought I was going to starve. Hello everyone, welcome to my first impressions of Don't Starve. Don't Starve is a very interesting game. From your first perspective of looking at gameplay, you would think it's just purely a resource management game, but you would be somewhat wrong. It is a strong resource management game, but it also has emphasis of need to fight things too. To advance later on, you would have to fight things for their materials as well. So let's start with obviously getting familiar with what's going on. Basically, you play as a character named Wilson, at least to begin with. You later on can unlock additional characters who have special traits. Wilson is, from what I understand, the most balanced. He has no negative effects and has only positive effects, while pretty much every other character has a positive and a negative to him. Like, one character is really buff when full belly, but is afraid of the dark. Another has a infinite torch item, but when nervous and sandy, starts lighting fires everywhere. So, Wilson is the most balanced character, and he has the biggest advantage because he can grow a beard. A magnificent beard. Which is actually incredibly useful for two reasons. Because it helps you protect you from the cold, and it can be used to make a very important item to make your survival all the more important. But anywho, Wilson gets taken into a strange world he's unfamiliar with and left for dead. A guy comes and tells you that you better find something to eat before the darkness comes. And the darkness is indeed your worst foe out of everything in the game. For in it, you will die. So, of course, you need fire, fire, everywhere is fire. So your first day, you're going to definitely have to scavenge a little food and the raw materials to at least build a regular fire. Though I definitely recommend making a pit fire, though, with rocks. From there, you'll just have to learn. It's really a game that, like, if you like stuff like Dark Souls and that, where it doesn't hold your little hand, it's like, tells you everything you need to do and where to go, you'll enjoy a great bit of Don't Starve. It doesn't hold your hand in any real way. You are left to make and figure out what you can do and put together and to survive. You'll have to figure out how to interact with some of the unique residents of this bizarre world. Some of them are just twisted things of real creatures, like the pigmen, the very odd pigmen. It really is just a huge sandbox, and each world is crafted uniquely and randomly, so no experience is truly like the same. And in a similar vein of Dark Souls, it has a mechanic where you could control the difficulty. No, not through levels ups. That's Dark Souls' way of controlling difficulty. No, with Don't Starve, you can control the difficulty with the world regenerating settings. Basically, when you're generating your world, there's a default setting, and then there's a few custom settings that the developer made, and then you can totally customize it yourself. You can make tons of food generate in the new world, making survival in a food-related way easier or harder. You can make certain materials appear more and less. You can control amounts of the day, so you can make it more difficult or less difficult. So That's a great way of tweaking it and allowing the player to tweak it. While you don't have full customization of every single item, it gives you the essentials of what would make the game easier and harder. A few different things might have been nicer to be able to tweak, but overall it works out pretty nicely. The story mode of Don't Starve is a little bit confusing coming in because, again, the game doesn't actually explain anything. So it took me a little while to figure out how you do the story. And it kind of reminds me of Tokyo Jungle in that sense, where you have to play the survival mode and go into the story mode. To get in eventual mode, you have to basically make a special item and track down a few things, and you can enter eventual mode, which will activate the story mode. The eventual mode's progression does not count towards your survival score if you die. When you die, like permanently die, and yeah, there's permadeath, by the way, we'll get on that. But when you die, you get experience, and your experience is used to unlock characters. So you have to permanently die to get your experience. But your progression in eventual mode does not count towards that. It is only for the story and a few unlockables. And obviously, getting a little more understanding of what the fuck's going on, because you're really not told anything. Again, another similar thing to Dark Souls, to be honest. It's kind of weird how two completely different gameplay mechanic type games have so many things in common. The game really has a lot of clicking. It's pretty nice that pretty much all the controls can be done with the mouse. However, there are, of course, some keyboard shortcuts. Of course, the mini-map and being able to use your 1, 2, 3, and so on keys to switch really quick between tools and weaponry. It's, of course, immensely useful in a similar fashion like like Minecraft. And you're gonna need so, because believe me, there will be shit that comes to hunt you down. In 2 of the worlds I've generated, randomly, my character has stated warningly that he's heard something, and then wild pigs came to murder me. The first time, I died. I got attacked by 4 pigs. The second time, I only got attacked by 2, and I was more properly geared with a spear to kill them. So you really have to be careful. The game really has, like, it's like a weird scale system to almost everything. There's like something to counterbalance. Like, for example, you know, if you generate a lot of berries, I'm not really sure what causes it, but I think it's the fact that you generated, or there was a lot of berries present. Because it seems like if you do too much of something, there's a negative bad effect. Like, if you kill too much innocent wildlife, this, how you pronounce that? It's that weird demon thing that has to do with, like, Christmas and kidnapping children. I can't remember. It begins with, like, a K. I can't remember how the fuck to pronounce its name, but it'll basically appear and rob everything it can. You got chests with valuable items? Oh, not anymore. It's robbing you blind. And don't think about attacking it without being well armed, because it will kill you. And killing it's the only way to get your shit back. So, it's kind of a sad fate. So, too much mortal, you get robbed. Too many berries, a giant turkey comes and eats everything unless you can rob him before him or trap him in so you can kill him, because the fucking thing runs faster than you. So you better run that thing to a cliff and stab it in the back. And it just seems like there's a weird plus and negative to a lot of things. It has a weird balancement like that. I really feel there's a very addictive nature. The first time I played, once I finally died on day 22 of my first playthrough, it was like midnight. And I was like, well, I wasn't actually planning to even play this long. I was just kind of trying it out. It really has an addictive nature to it, of survival. And again, there's permadeath. But what can you do to counter permadeath? A feature that many modern gamers don't like. The counter permadeath, permanent death, There is 3 ways. Yeah, there were 3 ways, and only one of them I don't know quite how to do. One is the natural way. You'll find sacrificial tables with pig heads stomped around it. By touching it, you activate it and thus will spawn there if you die. You can activate multiple of these if you can find them. The second is why Wilson has a big old advantage over other characters. His beard is a resource. Making a razor and cutting your beard off gives you beard hair. And you would think that would be worthless, but no. It's actually useful in creating a resurrection item, which no other character can get by very simple means. So, useful. And then there's some other item you can make that can also save your life. But, yeah, you'll basically rely on those for when you go to, like, I gotta go kill that shit, but if I die, I'm gone, so I need to make something in case I die and stuff. And when you die, like Minecraft, everything you have spews onto the ground. So, and there are things that will eat or take your food. Like pigmen will eat basically any food that's on the ground. So, you have to really, it's really a gruelizing game of exploration. It really, and it's really a giant item management survival game. I mean, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really considering doing Let's Play of it, to be honest. It's really enjoyable. I'm actually surprised I passed this up for so long. This game started out in like a beta format where you could get cheaper doing it and kind of help test out bugs and stuff. A format that's been happening with quite a few indie games lately. But I decided I didn't really want to. I wanted more of the final product, and well, actually, it has its advantages though too. I mean, I got all the characters and everything, and hopefully less bugs. Overall, though, Don't Starve is a very challenging game with permadeath, but ways to avoid it, and the challenge of survival with large worlds that you can make big, or just kind of default. It offers a lot of variety, customization, and ways to make it easier or harder. So Don't Starve is fantabulous, and it's not even that expensive. You can go on their main site and get a Steam DRM free, Good Old Games version, which is DRM free, or just get it through Steam. You know, you got your options. So, and there's no online co-op or anything, so it's just a single player experience. But I highly recommend Don't Starve if you like survival type games with item management. It's very enjoyable, and the art style is just, it's like if Tim Burton made a 2D art style, that would be Tim Burton's art style. It reminds me of Tim Burton so much. It has a really unique atmosphere. The only thing is, I wish there was just a tad bit more music in it, because the world's very quiet most of the time, and that's not necessarily a horrible thing. I just like a little bit of music, but I also understand it's trying to go for more of a kind of realistic thing, only approaching when necessary, like when you're in combat and such. So, and also in a way it kind of helps you with a visual cue what time of day it is, what time in your day it is. So, but you do get a thing in the corner telling you what point in time it is in the day. So, and that's my first impressions of Don't Starve. Highly recommended. Go get it. And don't starve. And no, there's no zombies, as far as I'm aware of. No cannibal teas.